It's always an exciting time to have you join us on the program Healthy Living with yours sincerely, Oluije Oikokai. Now, today on Healthy Living, we'll be looking at World Heart Day, yes. And the theme is Don't Miss a Beat, yes, don't miss a beat. Now, it will please you to know that every year there are 70 persons, yes, from the age of 70 downwards, suffering from cardiovascular ailments. Now we have personalities with us today. The person of Dr. Akiwumi Ojo. He is a consultant cardiologist, UBTH. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, EJ. Nice to speak.
Okay, and also we have Dr. Femi Oluwole. He is a senior registrar cardiologist units in UBTH. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, now I remember this time last year we had World Heart Day. We talked about issues relating to the heart and in general. Now we're here again. So first off, before we dive into, how has things been so far within the last 1 year? First off, we want to know hearts. World Heart Day. Why do we have emphasis on WHO saying let there be a day to signify the importance of one's healthy heart? So first off, let's start with Dr. Ojo.
All right, thank you very much, EJ. We are here again. This is the 25th World Heart Day celebration,
Yeah.
29th of September, and the time worldwide where we devoted to talk about the heart, emphasizing on the importance of the heart, the single organ that makes us to be alive. Is because we have the heart. That's why we are here on this program this afternoon. So a single organ, and we have to take care of the heart. We have to make sure that the heart continues to breathe. And because of the fact that we see from every part of the world rising prevalence in cardiovascular diseases and death from cardiovascular conditions. So that's why we have to keep on talking about it. The prevalence is increasing. The people that are dying from heart disease are increasing. So we have to keep on talking about it. And that's why we are here again this year to talk about the importance of taking care of our hearts.
Okay, now we have the theme, don't miss a beat. Now, Dr. Femi, would like you to throw some light into that.
Thank you very much. Just like my chief earlier mentioned, according to statistics, we have about 18 million people who die from cardiovascular disease every year. So don't miss a beat that was thrown out by the World Health Organization is to throw more light on people getting to know what their numbers are. For example, what is your blood pressure at the moment? Don't miss that beat. Don't miss your appointment in the clinic. Don't miss those exercises you are supposed to do, and every other thing that you are not supposed to miss to keep your heart healthy.
Okay. So, Dr. Ojo, what are those things that can hinder one from, having a healthy heart?
All right. Thank you. A lot of things can hinder. Talked about risk factors for heart condition. When we talk about risk factors for heart condition, there are many, but more very important amongst them is hypertension. Hypertension is the commonest risk factor for heart disease worldwide, anywhere in the world. Any type of heart disease you talked about, either heart failure, either myocardial infarction, either disease of the aortic, disease of the vessels like aortic dissection or something, you have a common denominator in all of them. This hypertension. That's the common risk factor. So we're also emphasizing on controlling our numbers, checking for our blood pressure and making sure that we control this blood pressure. Diabetes is another condition that also commonly affect the heart. Also alcohol use, smoking, obesity, sedentary lifestyle. These are risk factors, things that affect the heart in the long run. And by the time they accumulate over time, the heart starts to get dysfunction, and before you know it, it starts to fail.
Okay. Now, Dr. Femi, is there a sign, that one can come up with to see, okay, there's this thing happening to my chest? Is there a sign that one can get to say, I need to go to the hospital right now in order for me to get my heart checked, in order for me to get my system checked?
Thank you very much for that brilliant question. And that is why WHO keeps talking about World Heart Day, World Hypertension Day. And the reason is because most of these cardiovascular diseases, they usually come without signs and symptoms until it's already too late. Sometimes it can take about 5 to 10 to 15, sometimes 30 years before you get to see the symptoms. And sometimes the symptoms could be a stroke, it could be a heart attack, it could even be a sudden death. So most of the times they usually do not come with signs and symptoms. And that is why once you get to a particular age, 28, 30, we advise that you do a yearly checkup so that doctors, nurses, and other health workers can identify those risk factors that may put you in something more malignant later in future.
Okay, now Dr. Ojo, let's talk about cholesterol. We know some persons, they don't actually know they have this thing in their system. So can that also lead to cardiovascular disease?
All right, thank you very much. Cholesterol, very important, good question. When it's elevated, either two ways. There are some inherited conditions that one can inherit that will make someone to have elevated cholesterol, and the person will not know. But how you want to find out is when you have history in your family, that you have history of maybe your father, your uncle die prematurely or have atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. That may be a sign that you may have elevated cholesterol running in the family, and such kind of person should actually have a check on time, and they should also come so that we can check and also be treated. Another way in which cholesterol can be high is from our diet. The type of oil that we use to cook, the type of margarine that we use. Most of us, our food, our turkey, our egg yolk, most of them are cholesterol leading. Even some vegetable oil. That's why we usually advise that vegetable that you use to cook, you have to check what level of cholesterol in this vegetable oil, because so it can also be acquired. So we can have familial ones, as I've said, then you can also have acquired dyslipidemia, and this can be a risk factor for hypertension, risk factor for heart attack, risk factors for heart failure, and many other heart-related issues.
Okay. All right, now let's talk about stress management, the role it plays in maintaining healthy hearts. Dr. Femi.
Thank you very much. You know, stress is one of those significant markers that we usually neglect when it comes to heart health. And it affects every part of the human organs, not just the heart. But the reason why we are focusing on the heart today is because today is World Heart Day. Now, there's something we call free radicals and every other thing that is increased that goes directly to affect the heart, the blood vessels, making it very narrow, causing hypertension and every other cardiovascular disease. So it is essential that in whatsoever we do, we should learn to create time for leisure. If it's to read, sleep, travel, have a playtime with family and friends.
Outdoor moments.
Exactly, outdoor moments, you know, so calm down your nerves. These are some essential aspects of our daily living that we really need to start imbibing into our activities. If not, you continue to put yourself on daily stress and the impact on your heart health in the long run.
I think as humans, we should be able to know our stress level, because most times we actually don't know our stress level. We find a market woman, you know, going to the market from Monday till Sunday, and the person tells you, I want to make money. But in a nutshell, yes, World Heart Day. Apart from you being in the studio now, is there a group of persons out there among yourselves that, you know, go to from maybe community to community, marketplaces, to let the marketmen also know about all of this, and to let them know that they don't need to work throughout the week. They ought to have some rest time for themselves. So is there any, you know, modalities as regards that?
Okay, well, apart from the one we are doing as a cardiology unit in UBTH, we also have other smaller organizations who are already doing these outreaches, going to communities, different NGOs who are enlightening the public on the importance of taking care of your heart,
Yeah.
you know, taking your medication, like enlightening them on doing the things that will keep the heart healthy. So
Okay.
we have all those organizations and individuals
Okay.
who are doing that right now as we are in the studio.
Okay, nice one. Okay, now when we come back, we'll talk about, you know, sometimes you find someone say, I feel a pain, a sensing pain on the left side of my chest. Now, is that also applicable to, you know, a sign of one should, you know, go out for to say, okay, I need to see the doctor? So when we come back after the short break, we'll be talking more on that. Sorry, joining us on the program Healthy Living, and we're looking at World Heart Day. Now, before the break, we were talking about some warning signs. You find someone, you know, they're just on their own and they have this warning sign and they don't even know it is a warning sign. Take for instance, you're walking on the road and all of a sudden you're having tightness on your chest and you don't even know that's a warning sign. So I want to know, how can one know, okay, this particular thing I have right now, it is a warning sign for me to go to the hospital? Dr. Femi.
Thank you very much once again. You know, generally, if you have any pain
Yeah.
above your umbilicus, that is the navel,
Yeah.
any pain around that region, and you are a middle-aged man or a middle-aged woman, you should see your doctor.
Okay.
If you have any
Okay, you know
pain-
what, Dr. Femi, you know what you do for me right now? There might be some, you know, aged persons out there
Yes.
that are actually listening to us. So if you can, you know, do some demonstration. We don't even mind if it's in
Okay.
pidgin English right now, because we need a lot of persons to understand what you're talking about. And when
Okay.
you're doing your demonstration, we need to see the
Okay.
movements you can. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So what do I mean by above your umbilicus? You know this navel,
Yes.
this point, this
Yes,
should
yes.
I say flesh that is protruded in
Yeah,
some individuals. Any pain around that site in any adult should warrant you to see your doctor.
Okay.
That is one. Any pain behind this bone, this breastbone,
Yeah.
should warrant you to see your doctor. Sometimes you can just feel, usually as you are sitting and you do not know if your heart is working or not.
Yeah.
But the moment you start feeling that you have a heart,
Yeah.
we call it palpitation. It's just as though there is like a beat around your chest. You should see your doctor.
Oh.
You know,
Okay.
some-
Okay. Normally, you ought not to feel the beating of the
Yes.
heart.
You shouldn't
But
know
when
you have
it
the heart.
does happen,
Yes.
you should go see the doctor.
You should go see the
Oh,
doctor.
okay.
As we
Okay.
are seated now, we do not know if we have a heart or not. But the moment you start feeling your heartbeat, you
Okay.
should see a doctor. Sometimes people call it ulcer. This is where the stomach is.
Yeah.
So they feel pain here. It could be the heart. Any pain around the left side of the chest,
Yeah.
you should see the heart. You should see
See
the
the
doctor.
doctor.
And sometimes you don't even have to wait to see those signs and symptoms. Like I said, the moment you start having those things, you're already having complications because they take years to develop. Sometimes it could just be headache, which could be sign of hypertension. You understand? Sometimes it could just be you hearing sound in your ears. You know, also could be sign of hypertension. So the summary of everything is that as a middle-aged person, man or woman, you should do a yearly check before you start having those symptoms.
Okay.
Because once you start having them, it simply means that you may already be having complications.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for, you know, taking out your time to expatiate on all of that. Now, let's look at individuals, you know, monitoring and managing blood pressure and cholesterol level.
All right, thank you. Let me just take it from where Dr. Femi
Dr. Femi,
stopped
yeah.
from. So, generally, we talk about middle age, but looking at our practice generally, now that's at you know, have to be modified. Why? Because even right from very young adults, we are seeing 20, 18, 19-year-old female, male, school, secondary school, higher institution, coming down with hypertension. And your mother will come to your clinic and be asking you that, doctor, let me ask my son, let me ask my daughter, what is he thinking about? Me don't have blood pressure. He's already having blood pressure.
Yes.
So we should know that this is changing. We now have a lot of young people having blood pressure. And it's not, the reason is not far-fetched. Lifestyle changes, obesity, people spend 24 hours on their phone, they are not exercising, they are taking energy drinks, a lot of things. So blood pressure is coming. And especially for people whose parents, uncle, brother are also hypertensive. Those ones also have the tendency of developing blood pressure early enough.
So it's good for one to actually have a history check.
Yeah, so it's very important to check. As we have said, hypertension is a silent killer. It doesn't give any sign.
It is.
If you don't go for check, you will not know. So I want to encourage people, even right from young adult, right from teenager, if you have a family or relative that are hypertensive, please go for your check. You can be in a private hospital, and you can come to UBTH or come to any private. In UBTH, you have a center called the Center for Disease Control. You don't have to have any complaint for you to go there. Just go there, let them check your blood pressure, they will check your cholesterol, check your blood sugar, check your viral screens, all those kinds, check your PSA. All those things, it's better to pick them at those early stages before they now get complicated. Before palpitation will start coming, before chest pain will start coming, it's better to pick it at that level so that we can quickly start treatment and those kind of things can be prevented.
Okay, now let's look at the role of government in all of this, Dr. Ojo.
All right, thank you very much. So the another thing we are emphasizing as a member of the Nigerian Cardiac Society this year, World Heart Day, is to also advocate for our policymakers, people in government, people that are close to the government, people that are close to policymakers, to have another view or to take a solid plan about cardiac health. Generally, I will give instance at primary level, at secondary level, and also at tertiary level. At primary level, people have to be sensitized to come and check their blood pressure. So that's at primary level. And when they come and check their blood pressure, they're hypertensive, we need to provide drugs that are cheap for these patients. From experience, some of our patients that are hypertensive can no longer afford their medications because of the current economic situation of the country. They can't afford those medications, and they will come and tell you, doctor, I cannot afford this medication, can you change the drug for me? So we need to put in more blood pressure medicine into the national health insurance scheme so that people can get these medications and they can use it and get their medication well controlled. So that's the first thing I want to say. So we have to widen the horizon of our national health insurance scheme so that more people can get the good drugs. The good drugs. Sometimes you want the good drugs. And those good drugs are not on NHI. So please, we need to emphasize on that. That's the first thing. The second thing is provision of places where people can have access to care. Somebody have an MI, for example, in Benin City. Where can we open up this vessel? We have to travel to Lagos, to Port Harcourt, to Abuja, before that person can be opened up. And time is muscle. Before you can have that kind of journey, a lot of damage has already been done to the heart. So if provision like this, a cardiac laboratory will be provided in every state so that people can have access to it. And when they have heart attack, they can have these life-changing, life-saving procedures on time. So that's another point we want to raise. The third point we want to raise is that should in case there's a sudden cardiac death, we can be in a gathering, a meeting, a political rally, people just fall suddenly dead. What should we do in that situation? So we should be able to get people that are trained in basic life support so they can start cardiac resuscitation immediately for such patients so that we can be able to save that patient. And also, there should also be provision of a defibrillator in every public spaces so that people can use it and be able to save such kind of when there's a cardiac arrest.
Okay, I think we'll have to do another topic we call CPR. Very important. Okay, now thank you so much for taking out your time today, Dr. Femi and Dr. Ojo, to enlighten us more about hearts. Yes, it has been World Heart Day. To be seen again next week for another exciting time. Stay healthy. Bye for now.